Mangala Sutta. The Second Phase of Life, Part 2. Whilst leading a household life, you still have some other worldly responsibilities to become a pillar of society. And the blessings are Dhanancha Dhammacharyacha Jnatakanancha Sangaho Anavajani Kammani Etang Mangala Muttamang. Generosity, righteous conduct, helping or supporting relatives, and blameless actions. These are the highest blessings. Dana refer to the act of giving or generosity. What you give is what you have received, and what you receive is what you have given. That is the law of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. Generosity is the basis of a virtuous way of life. The aim is to reduce clinging and attachment. It lays the foundation for our material wealth and comfort, as well as enabling us to support our family, community, and society. Dhammacharya is righteous conduct. Living in accordance to the Dhamma means living according to the principles that uphold peace and happiness, both for ourselves and for others around us. This includes the observance of the basic 5 precepts and the performance of our duties and responsibilities as laid out in the Sigalovada Sutta. This is the discourse which explains the duties and responsibilities of children to parents, parents to children, pupil to teachers and teachers to pupil, friends to friends, husband to wife and wife to husband, employers to employees and employees to employers, and disciples to religious teachers and religious teachers to disciples. The Sigalovada Sutta is referred to as the lay Buddhist ethics. It provides a very comprehensive understanding of our roles in society to maintain peace and harmony. The next blessing is Jnana Kanancha Sangaho, or the supporting of relatives. When your brother or sister or some other relatives are in trouble, you come forward to offer them a helping hand. You need to understand that from the karmic point of view, the reason why we are born in a certain family and become related to one another is actually the result of a karma from the past. Even your marriage to one another, the children that you get, these are also your karmic bonds from the past. As such, we need to fulfill our duties and obligations towards them. Moreover, in times of crisis, when we are in need of food, shelter, and other basic requirements of life, who could we first turn to? We will need to turn to our own relatives or some trustworthy friends, which can also be considered as our relatives. The next blessing is Anavajani Kammani. This refers to blameless actions. When we talk about blameless actions, we need to understand that no one in this world is totally free from blame. So we need to know where the blame is coming from. If wise people blame you, then you should take it into consideration. If foolish people blame you, then don't worry so much. Your actions becomes blamable because they are conditioned by the unskillful or unwholesome roots of greed, hatred, and delusion, giving rise to unskillful thoughts, speech, and body actions. Unskillful thoughts are thoughts of covetousness, ill will, and wrong view. Unskillful speech consists of lying, slandering, harsh and frivolous talk, and unskillful actions consist of killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. These are the 10 unwholesome or unskillful actions which should be avoided in order to live a blameless way of life. The next stanza on the adulthood phase reads as Arati virati papa majapanaja sanyamo apamadoja dhammesu etang mangala muttamang. That is, to cease and abstain from evil, avoiding intoxicants, steadfastness in virtue. This is the highest blessings. Towards the middle and later part of your adulthood, you will need to strengthen your mind and develop wisdom in order to face the challenges of the household life. While supporting your children for their higher studies, caring for elderly parents, and assuming greater responsibilities at workplace and so on. Hence the need for a strong foundation in discipline and moral integrity by ceasing and avoiding all unskillful actions. Arati virati papa. This means that you must abstain, and not only abstain, but also to put an end to the unskillful habit patterns. This can only come about through the cultivation of mindfulness and steadfastness in virtue. Majapana cha sanyamo. This refers to the total avoidance of intoxicants, as you cannot afford to lose control of your mind as you assume greater responsibilities at home and at work. In the Sigalovada Sutta, the Buddha outlines 6 consequences of losing control of your mind through drunkenness. They are 1. The loss of wealth, increase of quarrels, susceptibility to disease, earning bad reputation, shameless exposure of the body, and weakening of intellect. Hence the need to overcome such habitual tendencies. Apamadoja dhammesu. This refers to steadfastness in virtue through the diligent observance of the 5 precepts and the performance of your duties and responsibilities as a householder. The cultivation of general mindfulness on your thoughts, speech, and body actions, as well as the practice of the 4 Brahma Viharas, such as metta, loving-kindness, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, equanimity. All these should provide a good foundation for further mental cultivation in your next stage of life. The next set of blessings or qualities to be developed are as follows. Garavocha nivatocha santutticha katanyata kalena dhammasavanang etang mangala muttamang. Reverence, humility, contentment, gratitude, and timely listening to the Dhamma. This is the highest blessings. These are the basic requisites for a spiritual way of life. With regards to respect, there are 2 kinds of elders that need to be respected. First is our physical elder, that is, those who are older than us, such as our parents, grandparents, teachers, brothers, sisters, and so on, within the family, as well as those outside our extended family, which includes relatives and others. Then the second kind of elder refers to our spiritual elders, our religious or spiritual teachers, even though they may be younger in age. Members of the Sangha will usually recite the following chanting blessings during dana offering, and it is about the benefits of reverence. The blessing chanting will be like this. Abhivadana silissa niccang vadda pachayino chatharo dhamma vaddanti ayu vanno sukhang bala. The meaning is this. For one who is in the habit of constantly honoring and respecting the elders, 4 blessings increase: lifespan, good complexion, bliss or happiness, and strength. By respecting and listening to the advices of your spiritual teachers and parents, you can avoid certain harm and dangers that can be life-threatening. Through respect and humility, valuable knowledge and living skills could be transmitted from parents and teachers to you. When you are respectful and not arrogant, you are naturally more calm and peaceful. Hence the good complexion, happiness and strength, as anger and arrogance saps energy. The next virtue or quality is santutti or contentment. Contentment is the greatest wealth. Santutti paramang dhanang. At this stage of one's life, it is important to assess your achievements in your worldly pursuits and develop a sense of contentment so that you will be able to get on to a more spiritual way of life. Katanyo refers to gratitude, and gratitude is another important ingredient of your spiritual quest for truth. It is a great purifier of the mind. Often, due to our anger, our minds can get very clouded, and you will tend to forget all the goodness which your parents, teachers, or spouse have done for you. When your mind is not in good state, you will tend to find faults with others, and that will make you feel even more agitated and disgusted with the people around you and things around you. If you can just pause for a few moments to recall the good things that others have done for you, then you will soon begin to smile again. That's the power of gratitude, cherishing and appreciating the goodness of others. You should not let a little mistake or weakness of others to spoil all the goodness that you have received from them. Respect, humility, contentment, and gratitude are the values of life that will help you to reduce your ego and the strong feeling of I and my. At the end of the day, it is the ego which arises as a result. It is a false notion of the idea of self, which is the cause of all human sufferings. So, garavocha nivatocha santutticha katanyata, these are actually the prerequisites of a spiritual life. Whilst you are still a householder, towards the end of this phase of life, when you begin to fulfill your duties, you should be developing these qualities more and more. These qualities of respect, humility, contentment, and gratitude are also important for the young, but more so as we grow older, because after acquiring vast knowledge and worldly possessions, name and fame, people tend to grow in pride and vanity. So if these values are not present, family quarrels and breakdowns can arise, thus obstructing our spiritual path. The next blessing in life is about timely listening to Dhamma. Kalena Dhamma Savanam. Timely listening to Dhamma is to gain the necessary inspiration and motivation to keep walking and progressing in the Dhamma's path without going astray, and also to constantly remind you of the true nature of life, to help you to prepare to cope with the ups and downs of life, whether material or spiritual. For example, when you are healthy, you listen to the Dhamma for your personal growth and development. When you are sick, you also have the opportunity to listen to certain Dharma that will give you encouragement how to face your illness and overcome your difficulties. When you are in trouble or in crisis, you need to be reminded of the Dharma. When you are in fear and anxiety, you will need to go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Hence the importance of timely listening to the Dhamma. This is the end of the section on the life of a householder.